let's start with Anna. Anna,
Yeah,
the
give me.
stage is yours.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I'm Dr. Anna Maria Mihalcea, and I have been researching the nanotechnology in the blood as well as in the shot and really looking at the correlation to the historical aspect that really the targeted individuals were the testing grounds for, because the chemical composition of the microchips that were found, for example, in 2006 and 2007 by toxicologist Dr. Hildy Staninger, is exactly the same chemistry that we're seeing now in the self-assembling nanotechnology. So I believe that the revelation of the self-assembling nanotechnology in the C19 bioweapons, as well as the polymers from geoengineering, and then the entire historical evidence regarding the TI issues is going to become very prominent coming in the future, because there's some definite correlation. And the fact that particular CIA whistleblowers like Robert Duncan, who've discussed that the entire world population is really monitored, according to their brainwaves, and then certain individuals are being attacked. So since I was in the health freedom movement, we know in the health freedom movement that not only have people been assassinated, like Arne Burkhardt found dead in a lake in Germany, but also people like Dr. Carrie Madej, who had this airplane crash. I had threats to my life and I was almost killed. Karen Kingston has been attacked and she came out that she was targeted. So I believe that there's a tremendous amount of people who are, threatened because of their speaking out. We're maybe not on a day-to-day basis being tortured, but certainly our life has been endangered. And I think that these people also could be at a point of speaking out. We know Senator Ron Johnson has been targeted. We know that in my clinical practice, I see a lot of targeted individual, and I see highly, highly intelligent people and high-level jobs, who maybe even had top secret security clearance or have been university professors and are being tortured. They're not necessarily involved with targeted justice, but I think that as more of us are bringing awareness to it. And so I think that the symposium is going to be a wonderful way to do that. Hopefully, we're going to be able to invite people to speak out. I think sometimes the targeting is so severe they cannot even, make social contact. But at least I think that there are a lot of open doors, because this targeting program is really the key to what is going on globally now. So I just wanted to say that, and I look forward to, in the new year, planning the symposium and bringing light to this. I will be sharing this video as well. And I do think that the technology part of it, and then showing the correlation, is going to be an important aspect to lend credibility to this as well, because literally what's been injected in 2/3 of the known world now is very similar in terms of how it functions, and as what the targeted population is experiencing. So thanks so much, and I appreciate the opportunity to be an advisory board member.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mihalcea. Your participation on the of the advisory board and on this call is highly appreciated. And a lot of targeted individuals follow you, follow your Substack, and we are so grateful that you take care of targeted individuals as your patients. Thank you so much. Now let's talk to our ambassador in Brazil, Dr. Valdemir de Oliveira. The stage is
Oh,
yours.
Len, I have to tell you, I'm still waiting for the T-shirt.
Oh, but I did send it to you. You have not received it. It was
So,
intercepted at the border.
people, good evening. I'd like to thank you the opportunity. I just started actually 3 months ago. Lambert and Anna and Richard, they chose me to be the ambassador for Brazil. It's a huge opportunity to help the target justice here, spread in the world. And actually, I have been having a lot of good contacts and Some of them a little bit weird because a lot of contacts try to advise me on how to do things, on how to implement certain narratives. So we have to be a little bit skeptical about that. But on the whole, I think it was good. I have reached almost 600 views on the two podcasts. The first podcast was more or less on the same basis of what you have seen in the first one that you invited me. And the second one was interesting because I told the Brazilians how the English police put me in the program. And I show with evidence. I think it's interesting for you to take a look at that. It's in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, but you can use a translation for that. So my plan for next year is to help improving the frequency of podcasts. I have been through hard time this last 2 months. My mother has been diagnosed with a disease, and I have my car crashed. I don't know. I'm driving for. I have been driving for 35 years. Never have my car crashed before, but this time destroyed my car. Thanks, I'm okay, no problem with that. But some hard time, so disrupt a little bit. But next year, I have been invited for a congress. They are trying to elaborate a congress here in Brazil amongst psychologists and psychotherapists, and they invite me to give a word on what's going on. Yesterday, we had just had a attempt of broadcast from a radio here, but unfortunately something weird happened. We couldn't get the contact with the connection with the radio. So just part of the group managed, another organization managed to go through. So we are still trying to get connected with them, and perhaps next week or so try to get an opportunity with broadcasting some ideas about what's going on. So my idea in terms of podcasts is the first two was more about myself, how I was put in the program, my evidence, just to get a little bit of credibility. But now I think it's a good opportunity to show the legal case in US, what's going on. We are waiting a little bit for the oral arguments that Anna is going to be able to tell to the judge. And so I'm gonna plan to do a podcast here showing that may help increase the viewers here. We also had this strange thing about having many viewers but not lots of subscribers. That's a weird thing. We don't know exactly what's going on, but that's something we have to work on. So, and also implementing some instructions to people to understand why they think that there is a lot of gang stalking going on. And I plan to help them to understand that much of what they think is gang stalking is actually just V2K, as Robert Duncan said, ventriloquism. So they don't know exactly how that works, in fact. So they think that is gang stalking, but a lot of them, and I have experienced that myself, I because I know that that's purely ventriloquism. They stop, they decrease the intensity of the stalking and the voices. So that's something that I plan to help the citizens here in Brazil to understand a little bit better. And as the year goes on, I will be inviting some people. That's the difficult bit. How to spot people who can really reliably say something about their experience. I have been contacted by people here who said that they have evidence of assassinations that took place because of someone knows a little bit who were behind of this kind of thing. So we have to be careful on how to go with that. But I think it's an opportunity next year to help these people. So that's it about me, and I really appreciate the work, the opportunity to work with you guys. It's a wonderful job, and despite all the problems we face, we always here to help.
Thank you, Valdemir. One of the most exciting aspects of what you have told us is your coordination with psychologists. And I have been attempting to get in touch with the psychologist that you recommended, but I have not been able. Obviously, the communication has been intercepted, and electronic interference is just a part of the reality of being a targeted individual. So hopefully, somehow, someday, we will be in a position to establish that connection, because I'm always looking forward to speaking to professionals to get their perspective, because those are the people who will change what the public thinks about target individuals and move from the category of mentally off to really people who are really suffering, people who are real targets, and just change public opinion about targeting. So thank you very much. And now we have one more person on the call, Jen King. We have not met before. I know that you're one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit targeted Justice v. Garland, and I'm probably giving away some information that we've been working on, and it will be announced shortly that you have been nominated to be on the advisory board. I don't want to say congratulations preliminary, but I'm sure that your nomination will go through. So congratulations. And I would like to hear from you. Please tell us about yourself, and please tell us about your plans. Please.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Len. Those were very sweet and kind words. So hello, everybody. My name is Jin Kang. I am a fairly newly admitted attorney here in New Jersey. I was barred and fully licensed to practice law in 2022. I've been targeted ever since 2015 of October, which corresponds to literally a month before I turned 21. And I still remember that feeling of just street mob organized stalking and just being sort of immobilized from like my first encounter of like street theater and all these weird phenomenons going on. And I'm only saying this now because it really is a blessing and to be part of a group like this, and it really is an honor to be nominated. I'm not really too sure how the results are going to be, but I'm very flattered. It's an absolute privilege to be here and share these kinds of discussions with such sophisticated people. And it is quite amazing how through my 9 years of experience of being a target, the level of progression our community had, it's exponential, to be quite honest, especially this past year with the filing of the lawsuit as well. Just so much traction and so much attention that's being, I guess, brought to us from just very, very good momentum, very good people, a lot of, yeah, we're expanding a lot. And I guess long story short, I'm fairly, even though I do have experience of being a target, I'm very, very ignorant as to what value I could bring to the community. And it was suggested. I spoke with Anna about possibly helping out with this lawsuit that we had, and it actually turned out we sort of thought that it would be better if I was just a named plaintiff, because I am very familiar how the trial court system works, or litigation in the court system works. So I was sort of introduced by Anna and Richard to be to be a plaintiff and have credibility to all the named plaintiffs to our lawsuit. So that's how it all started, with my connections with Richard and Anna. And then I'm still trying to figure out this stuff myself. I mean, I don't get directed energy weapon attacks, but when it comes to gang stalking, just stalking in general, and invasion of privacy, just people following me around, even in my profession and all that. Like I just know this is not normal, and that's so I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is the mechanism to it towards this, especially when it comes to like mind reading. It really, no pun intended, but it blows my mind how mind reading is still is like it's capable. It's I'm still I don't know if Dr. Mihalcea, if you have any input in that, when it comes to like mind reading, that really blows my mind. But like I said, I mean, I'm going to do what I can to provide value to this community. I only have 1 year of legal experience. I am sort of aware how the court system works, litigation. I understand how that works. So maybe that's an avenue that I could provide input and value in. Perhaps just with the Korean community, I could provide value in. I'm in New Jersey. Perhaps I could provide value here locally in New Jersey. So I'm here to be more active. I've been sort of just putting my activism in regarding the TI community to the side because of law school and just life in general. But I'm ready to step up, and I think 2024 is going to be a great year. It's going to be a very, very, very good year. As people say, the Kobe year. I'm very, very excited to be here, and I'm very privileged to be speaking with you all today.
Thank you so much. Dr. Anna Mihalcea, would you like to comment? Would you like to answer the question?
Yes, it's very interesting question because most people have a very hard time to understand that the brain has been decoded through the Brain Project since the 1950s, and literally resonant frequencies in different areas of the brain have been mapped, and that this mind reading technology, 20 years ago was already available, that it was funded by DARPA, used in the military, and now is so far advanced that according to the whistleblower Robert Duncan, that literally every human being's brainwave are being monitored via this system, huge computers, and that anybody who's using more than 10% of their brain capacity actually automatically gets to be put on the target individual list. So there's a lot of brilliant people, being put on there. So I think that, what I'm endeavoring to do is also shine a light on the science of the military research that's been going on for so long, that really was exported out of Nazi Germany, and Operation Paperclip, where these people were brought here, then MK Ultra, and that now, even though the majority of the population isn't being tortured, they are certainly being mind controlled, and there's a lot of evidence for this. And now there's this next step up, basically through the shots, through the technology, etc. So it's a very interesting subject, and I think that this whole idea of V2K, I mean, it's so easy. And people, for example, like Kathy O'Brien, the MK Ultra whistleblower, a former CIA asset, and all these whistleblowers who've been in the government programs, they can help us a lot because science is so far advanced of what regular doctors or, psychologists have any idea of. And in fact, I believe that it's dangerous sometimes for TIs, for example, to go to practitioners who are clueless because they immediately get labeled as crazy. So anyway, so these are my comments, but I think that part of our work should be educating the public to how far neuroscience has advanced, and how much is, how easy it is just through electromagnetic frequency to insert thoughts to completely mind control people. Absolutely. It's easy.
Thank you very much. I would like to confirm that yes, mind reading is a real technology, and the way it progressed over the past, 15, let's say, years, is because of the involvement of artificial intelligence. This is a huge task for humans to operate this technology, but with the computational power of artificial intelligence, it became a really practically doable task, and it is a real technology. And we will definitely continue talking about it. Dr. Oliveira, would you like to add anything?
No, I just would like, I have made a comment with you by email about my intention to go to Russia just to test if I'm going to be able to be tracked
Mhm.
by American satellites there. I'm not sure, but I'm willing to go there just to test, stay there 2 weeks and see if Vircator or any GPS system, American GPS system, tracks me there. I have been in touch with someone from one of the countries there, and they said that they have been to Russia and they in fact heard the voices there as well. But she's I think from Uzbekistan, but I think she may be tracked by some kind of different system. So my big question this year is to understand: would we be free if we move to Russia, or just to test ourselves from the Western kind of
Mhm.
tracking?
Well, the
Well,
Russians
I,
developed the woodpecker system,
Yeah, I know. The Soviet
Yes.
signal. I know this 1976. But considering that what I heard in England when I was doing my PhD was for sure something that was put on the program by the British police. And because I remember also that I have been to Chicago in 2002. So I think marshals with this idea of white skies already been there for quite some time, tracking people on the airports. So I think that may be the reason why I was put in the program at the beginning. But if I go to Russia, would okay, Russia has the same technology, China has the same technology. I know Mossad, Israel has the same technology, but I think I'm be free from the American voices, I think, or Brazilian voices.
well, one thing I want to add is that I visited Korea in 2016, which corresponds to like 2 years into my targeting, I guess, introduction. And the gang stalking there was probably like top 5 worst experiences of my life. Really, like maybe even top 2. Like wherever I went, I mean, I understand the language, so and like I understand like the nature of like the dialogue when it comes to organized stalking, when people are like talking about you in a third person's perspective, and there's like mobs of people like going past you, throwing comments here and there. Oh boy, in South Korea, that was it was the worst. It really, really was the worst. It was arguably worse than how it was here. So that's one country to, I guess, avoid if you really want to avoid these
Well, we can
talking
understand that
people.
South Korea has a relationship with
Right,
America.
right. I mean,
So,
yeah,
but we are in the middle of a war, so maybe Russia doesn't allow. The reason why I suspect that is because I heard that the signal between Syria and Israel was disrupted by Israelis airplanes during the pass through Syria. So I thought, oh, maybe they blocked the GPS. Ukraine happened as well. So if they happen to block the GPS there, maybe they can block the GPS in Russia.
You know, what is so interesting in regards to what we've seen during this pandemic is the apathy worldwide in the world population, which kind of begs the question. It's like, is there an electromagnetic frequency interference with that is, for example, related to HARP, which is the 4 hertz ambient field around the world, and that many scientists like Nick Begich, for example, have clearly shown this is related to mind control Delgado, he clearly showed that within 6 to 10 seconds of an exposure of 4 hertz, 30% of volunteers had basically their mind taken over. But what I am wondering really is how much has the entire world population been controlled via these frequencies for so long, via television, via pulsed light frequencies and laser frequencies through the retina, and now that we are exposing this, which I believe is part of literally this bigger picture of the prism planet of the world population, that if the machines are turned off, what human potential would we really have, and how much more of our brain capacity could we use? I really believe that the electrosmog that we are involved in is severely debilitating us. It's making us sick, and that the future of humanity is to break out of all of this enslavement and all of this machine control of our brain frequencies. So I think there's a lot to learn, and maybe the picture is even way bigger than what we think now.
I think we can all agree that this program is international. Yep. Because satellite coverage, for example, the entire planet is covered. There's nowhere to hide. People go to the Amazon region and they still get V2K and remote neural monitoring. The other thing is that targeted individuals are truly the canaries in the coal mine. What has been happening to us is just a preview of all these possibilities, of all these emerging technologies that are operational at the military level, at the level whoever is conducting this targeted program. All these programs are operational, and it's not just one technology. It's a combination of various technologies that we have been experimented on. So we have the front row seat into the future of humanity. So our message, we're fighting for our freedom, but we're truly fighting for the future of humanity.
I totally think that is so important to understand, and that, this video and our discussions is for every human being, because basically people need to learn what is their future with the digital identity, the social credit system. Once you are deemed a deplorable or somebody who's speaking out, you will be able to be targeted. Just look at what's been happening to all of these TIs for so many years. This is why we have to spread the message and get it out to the general public, to everyone, because this is what is coming. They were just training on the TI community for years to what they're going to deploy on the world population if we don't stop this.
I absolutely agree. The aspect that everybody has to understand, that the ultimate goal for the group, that the shadowy group that is planning all these events, is a total population control, and that will be achieved through merging of biology and technology. And that aspect of targeting is extremely important, because this contains a message for the entire world population. Do you want to be enslaved? Do you want to be merged with technology? Have you consented to being invaded by this technology? Is the question that every person has to answer for him or herself, and we have to answer it for the humanity as a whole.
For our children as well.
For our children, grandchildren, for the future of human civilization.
Right. I heard that we have like teenagers being targeted and like little kids being targeted. It's like, you don't like it, that's so messed. Like, we have no idea the level of impact it would have on them by the time they reach adulthood. I mean, I got targeted when I was 20. I'm about to turn 30 next year. Like, I lost all my 20s, like from being a target. I didn't have friends. I had so many people who backstab me. Like, I really have sympathy for like the youth, because I can't even imagine what it would be like for them to kind of experience this level of trauma at such a sponge like age. They're absorbing everything, and that's having an impact on their development, you know, and we got to stop this. And like,
We want people like Dr. Mihalcea. We want people like Dr. Oliveira, like you, to bring the best the targeted community has to offer. And with that, I would like to tell the rest of advisory board members to be more proactive. We all can go to targetjustice.com and see that you are advisory board members, but we don't see you actively participating. Some of you have really big media platforms like Solari newsletter. Catherine, please.
Austin Fitz.
How Catherine Austin Fitz. You have a really big platform. What have you done lately as an advisory board member for Targeted Justice? If this is really a priority, if you have made a commitment to be an advisory board member, we would like to hear from you. We would like your participation and all the other advisory board members. I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just telling you that you have made a commitment. People who are on this call, I can see that you have made a commitment and you kept your word. You working together on our mission. That is probably one of the most important missions for humanity. So please, we're waiting for your proactive participation. Does anybody have anything to add?
No, thank you very much. It was a wonderful meeting, and I look forward to collaborating in the future. Great to meet my other fellow advisory board members, and you know, maybe we can do something, like I said, in the future, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
It was so nice getting to meet y'all. Yeah, and I look forward to our future working together with y'all.
absolutely, it's been amazing. It sincerely like exceeded my expectations today. First board meeting, best so far. So thank you all.
This truly has been my pleasure, and people who will watch this will see our dedication to the mission, and we need your help. You saw what the mission of Targeted Justice is: to liberate targeted individuals worldwide. This is a question of merging of biology and technology. This is the future of humanity. This is a question whether we will allow AI to run our brains. This is where I want to end this conversation. Thank you very much, and have happy holidays.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.